Hello, good to have you with us on Red Barn Radio. I'm Brad Becker. Tonight we are in our 21st season of Red Barn Radio, and we welcome you to show number 793. Yep. Bear Medicine, the band we host on Red Barn Radio this week, is the vehicle for the songs of Joshua Wright. The group originated as a quartet intent on blending the sounds of American primitive instrumental music and standard pop and Americana sounds. That iteration of the band spent a number of years playing local shows and doing small tours across the East Coast, all while rehearsing their first album, The Moon Has Been All My Life. After this version of the band had come to its natural conclusion, Bear Medicine went on hiatus for several years in order to write some new material and form a more fitting band that suited the new direction of Joshua's songs. We've got so much great music and conversation in store for you this evening, folks. Welcome Bear Medicine to the Red Barn stage.
Darling, the end is near, the cold earth moan. Baby, they're bleeding me dry as a bone. Now that the underworld rules above, pearly gate boarded up, dog is love. Saw the promised land, ripped right from my hands. The flaming sword still stands in my mind. Now that the veil is torn, the whole world knows. Look at the king on high, wearing no clothes. Scorpio rising moon pierce the sky. Deus ex machina, the king has died. But the fault of man lies in God's right hand. The flaming sword still stands in my mind. But the saints all cried. They were clawing out their own eyes. It's a shame you want me to believe. But the fault of man lies in God's right hand. The flaming sword still stands in my mind. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Bear Medicine, our guest this evening, sort of did what you might call a reset over the past couple of years and started playing again locally while they worked hard on their latest album, Dog Is Love. The new record focuses on a fuller sound replete with lush harmonies and sweeping strings. The current lineup consists of Kim Conley, who is playing keyboards and singing over there. She'll also play some flute. Emily Waxahara playing drums and singing. Scott Wilmoth on bass, Sam McWilliams on fiddle, and then Joshua Wright singing and playing guitar. Once again, we welcome Bear Medicine to Red Barn Radio.
When I'm pulling the strings, I'm the man behind the curtain. And when I'm walking in the ring, I'm the man behind the curtain. Only one thing's for sure, and you know that it's true. If you're throwing salt in my wounds, you won't have none for your food. But I swear, you never hear a single word I say. So when I'm pulling the weeds, I'm the man behind the garden. And when I'm planting the seeds, I'm the man behind the harvest. Somehow I'm covered in mud, but the field's bone dry. There's not an aphid or a beetle that can stay here alive. But don't despair, we took down that no trespassing sign. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate you. This next song's gonna be a medley of two between Blood and Common and Infestation. Thanks so much for listening. too late now. I got caught up in the clouds, and I can't find my way down. Glass reflection, sun is setting, skies on fire, but nobody turns to look. All their brains are strangled up. Ooh. The blood was running thin when I fell down the stairs and crashed into your wall. And I was laying, laughing, screaming, scheming, but you couldn't hear it all. The blood was running out and leaving stains upon your windows and your doors. But you were not around when I was down and dying on your basement floor. Oh. Lonely visions, bad decisions, lost my mind, and I don't know where to look. It's all alone out in the dark. Woke up screaming, sun was beaming in my eyes. Everybody's going home, and I'm laying here all alone. Ooh. The blood was running thin when I fell down the stairs and crashed into your wall. And I was laying, laughing, screaming, scheming, but you couldn't hear it all. The blood was running out and leaving stains upon your windows and your doors. But you were not around when I was down and dying on your basement floor. Oh. Go to bed, kill the bugs inside my head. It's the only way to stop them tearing, burrowing, and chopping till I'm dead. I can hear them while I'm in between my sheets. It's this ringing in my ears, incessant ringing, and now I just can't sleep. Peel away all the layers of my head, and at the center they'll be growing, pushing out and overflowing in my hand. dissect him on the ground. Watch him squirm until he breathes his last, and withers fast away without a sound. Spin around till my eyes start to blink. Make a circle in the blood and stain the carpet, leaving little bits of me. Go to bed, kill the bugs inside my head. It's the only way to stop 'em tearing, burrowing, and chopping till I'm dead. Appreciate you. This next one's the fourth track off our new record. It's called Terra Firma. Hope you dig it.
right. Well, our guest this evening on Red Barn Radio is Bear Medicine, and I hope you tuned into our live stream 5 songs ago. And if you didn't, that you'll go back and hear what you missed. This is beautiful music you guys make, and we're really, really enjoying it a lot. A lot of great sound. Joshua, I wonder if you might, do you want to go by Josh or Joshua?
Josh is fine.
Josh,
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I wonder if you might just start us off by going back to prior to the time that you were doing punk rock with your friend Severn, and yeah, and go back to maybe some of the earliest memories you have of sort of music getting into your head and your heart. Did it happen in your family, or?
It's funny. I come from a non-musical family. I don't think there's a single blood relative that I know that does anything more than like play a G, C, or D, and that's like maybe only one. Like music's just not really a thing in my family.
That surprises me.
It's kind of bewildered me my whole life, for real. Grew up in church and stuff like that, and I just really loved the hymns and stuff. I mean, that's what really initially, early on, that's what really got me into music.
So was it a vocal? So the window for you or the door was vocal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And then, growing up I'm from Owen County, so I grew up in like a little town called Monterey, Kentucky, it's northern Kentucky, and it's not that my folks didn't like music; they just weren't musically inclined. But we would go to like barn parties and stuff like that, where there would be like just bluegrass picking circles and stuff. And so that's kind of where I cut my teeth, listening to songs, and had my first guitar. And those older country dudes were welcoming me into the circle and would let me sit and like, the song's in G, that means G, C, D, here we go. Like, just kind of find your way. And so that's kind of my earliest memories of like really getting it. I'm sure Sam, our fiddle player, is kind of a similar situation, just like being young and sitting in bluegrass circles, where this couldn't be any further from bluegrass, but that's kind of the earliest memories.
Well, that's pretty cool. It's a great way to get into music through the bluegrass elders.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're so welcoming, and
I still hold them near and dear to my heart as well. Of course.
Yeah. Okay, so then from there, your parents were really excited about you getting into music and having this sort of new thing that you were excited about as a kid.
I think they would have rather that I've been a more professional.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably.
Did you think they wanted you to like, okay, if you're serious about music, you're going to take some Suzuki?
I think that was kind of the initial plan, but I just wanted to go and, when I turned 18, I just wanted to move and just kind of be around my friends. And, that's what I did. And we, traveled and played and formed different bands and stuff. And so it's been a lot of fun.
So it happened as early as 18. Were those the beginning of the punk rock?
Yeah,
years for you?
So we had this band called the Blue Suckers.
Okay.
You mentioned Severn earlier. Yeah, for sure. So he was the drummer for that band, and he was the person who pushed me into like actually getting in front of people and performing and stuff. So I will forever owe him for that, because it's kind of what I do for a living now, outside of Bear Medicine, just other things, just like playing music and clubs and stuff like that. And singing a lot, but it was about 18 that really started getting into bands, and I didn't know what to do. And Severn was like, well, we've got to start booking shows, and that's what we do. And so he started booking shows for us. Then we started going to, from Frankfurt to Lexington, then to Louisville, then to Cincinnati, then to Nashville, going back and forth like that. So it was a slow genesis, to say the least, but it was fun.
But so then so after the sort of your punk period.
Yeah.
Is this right? When did you hear John Fahey?
I mean, that was probably right around that time. I was like kind of really into the heavy music and stuff. And then something about like the John Fahey's and Robbie Bashos, like those instrumental fingerstyle guitar players, really struck a chord with me big time.
What do you think it was? I'm asking myself the same question because the same thing happened to me.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I think it's because I grew up right on the edge of Cedar Creek in Owen County, and something about that music, the first time I heard it, I was like, I closed my eyes, and I'm right back on the edge of the creek, and I'm right at the bottom of the hill with all the cedars, and it it was a transportation device, kind of, if that makes any sense. Like, it really took me back to a different place and made me feel at home in a way that I hadn't in a while. And I still feel that way when I put that music on. It's very powerful.
Yeah, I think I liked how sort of imperfect it was. Like,
Absolutely.
It
Warts
really,
and all, I think they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. It was so incredibly expressive. Really opened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Opened up a lot
Yeah.
for me to hear that music. And so when you then when you got into that music, did you start to sort of envision that a project that you would do would sort of tap some of that, and what aspect of it would it tap?
Well, I started listening to that music, and then I started really focusing on fingerstyle guitar playing a whole lot. And I was living at this house here in Lexington on Rosemont Garden, and I had like 3 little instrumental pieces that I'd written that I was really proud of. And we ended up getting a third roommate, whose name is Seth Murphy, who was an original part of Bear Medicine. Yeah, for sure.
Seth. Yep.
And he moved in and had a cello, and he was like, "Man, those are really cool. Let's sit down and work on this." And I don't know, it was a couple months later at, what was that? There was a house show that was happening just down the street, and a couple of our neighbors had heard us playing, like on the porch and stuff, and they were friends that we all worked at the co-op together. It's like a big Good Foods co-op family thing. And they were like, "You should come over and play these 3 songs that you all have before there was this out-of-town band going to come and do a living room show." And we did that, and people seemed to enjoy it. It was just instrumental music at that point. And we were like, "Oh, maybe we should take this a step further." And then came Severn playing percussion, and then lo and behold, Kim, our current keyboard player, the lone original member, came in and was like, "I can play flute and keyboards." And we are like, "Well, let's try that." And then we kind of formed this little, like, what's it called? A quartet. That's what it is. Yeah, a quartet.
And it was all instrumental.
Initially, yeah. And then I started writing lyrics and found out that Kim actually had a fantastic voice, the voice of an angel, yeah. And our voices just blended together really well. So then we started just writing more, and yeah, it was a fun trip that first time around. It is now too, but
Yeah. So you guys write together?
I write on the front end, and then they come and clean up my mess. If that makes sense.
Yeah. How does that work? Yeah.
I generally lyrics are my zone for all these songs, and melody, and then I like to have an idea of the chord structure and stuff like that, but I feel like I'm surrounded by this like amazing group of musicians, and I kind of have this idea I bring forth, and then they kind of mold it into what it should be at the end of the day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so like, like for instance in Terra Firma, I was wondering, did Kim, were you sort of a big part of working out the arrangement, the duet with the arrangement of the violins and the flute? Did you work that up?
Yeah, some of it. The flute part for sure. And typically Josh and I'll sit down and the two of us will work up some parts that I have, and then sit down with strings, and then sit down with everybody else. So that's a good example of one that's really orchestrated. Not all of them obviously get into as specific detail as that one does, but
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to have those things where I like long intros and long instrumental sections. I just love instrumental music, but having everybody throw their hat in the ring, to create this like big lush thing is pretty fun.
Well, I really like the way the instrumental aspect of your music sets up the lyric. It's very, very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I sort of look forward to what the lyrical message is going to be after the instrumental intro. It's pretty neat.
Thanks.
So Kim, I don't know anybody who plays flute that wasn't classically trained. I don't ever think of flutists as being like, well, self-taught.
No, I'm no exception. I'm also classically trained.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Tell me about your training.
I started playing the flute in 5th grade. My dad was a band director, and my grandfather was a band director. I always wanted to play flute, so as soon as I was able to in school, that's what I played.
Huh. And so were you in orchestra, or were you in band, like marching band and that kind of thing?
I did both. So I did cello in orchestra, and I did flute in band. So yeah, I did marching band, I did concert band, pep band.
Huh. And where was that?
Some of it was in Iowa, and some of it was here in Lexington.
In Iowa?
Yeah, I was born in Iowa.
Oh, tell me where you were from in Iowa.
In Mount Pleasant, Iowa. It's a tiny little town near Burlington or Iowa City.
Okay.
It's in the eastern southern corner.
Huh. All right. And for you, you were classically trained. Did you listen to people who played the flute in popular music early on, or was that something that came later for you?
Well, there's not a lot in radio music, for flute that I have come across. Lizzo obviously is a more recent example, but my father loved jazz, so most of my music experience when I was younger, I feel like it's jazz and some church music as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I think of flute, for me growing up, flute, it was like, well, Jethro Tull.
Right.
That music. Yeah. I think of that, and I think of this is horrible. John Pierre Rampal. Is that just horrible for anybody who plays the flute, the suite for flute and jazz piano?
No.
Is that just like air pudding to a real flutist?
Not to me. I mean, I don't know if I'm a real flutist or not. Yeah, I mean, I didn't come across Jethro Tull until much later in my life. I mean, that wasn't something that I aspired to when I was in 5th grade of like,
yeah, sure.
look at him,
Yeah, right.
I didn't know who he was then.
Do you do like, have you ever done like rock flute, or would you call some of this that?
No, I wouldn't call
Right.
this rock flute. No, this is about as bumping as we get. Some of the instrumentals have some more upbeat type of things, but I haven't delved into. I'd love to do like a pedal setup and have some weird, more psychedelic type sounds going on, but maybe not.
Is there any such thing as a pickup for
There is
a flute?
Yep.
Or oh, all right.
Yep. I don't use one. But there is one.
Something we can look forward to. That sounds like that could be kind of fun. I'm talking with the folks from Bear Medicine. There's 3 other folks we haven't even spoken with yet, but we'll get back to more conversation with these guys after we hear lots more music. So let's welcome back Bear Medicine to Red Barn.
I know you know the way to make it better. I know you know the way to make it hurt. And after all the time we spend together, I still wonder why I'm chasing your skirt. But oh, my dear life, and it's upside down. All things will go and turn around. Ooh. I know you know the way to make it back home now. I know you know the way to go it alone. Thought for a minute you were exiting stage left. Pull back the curtain, you were singing along. But oh, my dear life, and it's upside down. All things will go and turn around. Ooh.
Thank y'all.
Summer's coming, it's time to put the dog down. He's limped along for longer than he should. Bones gone brittle dry, tongue left hanging to the side. Not a sound would wake him if it could. But it's never what we'd say we said we wanted. Sometimes decisions make themselves for you. The hands of fate reveal things we cannot think or feel. The more you fight it, the more you stand to lose. Ooh, so rip the sun from the sky, scorch the earth black as night till that ground is ready to sow. All the ghosts fade away, then the dog now shall lay by your side, tending the soil. Summer's coming, it's time to put the dog down. He's limped along for longer than he should. His bones gone brittle dry, tongue left hanging to the side. Not a sound would wake him if it could. So with broken hearts we place the heavy headstone and tend our wounds with singing iodine. Living in the shout, shutting down the overcount, howl and moan, our boys surely dying. Ooh, so rip the sun from the sky, scorch the earth black as night till that ground is ready to sow. All the ghosts fade away, then the dog now shall lay by your side, tending the soil.
Thanks so much, y'all. And I'm going to talk to my boy Elvis. This next song is called Blue Operator. It's a dreamy little number. Thanks again.
Beautiful. Well, before we get back to more conversation and beautiful music with Bear Medicine, I'd like to take a minute just to remind listeners that Red Barn live streams both tonight's and on any Wednesday remain available online for you to view at your convenience on the Red Barn YouTube channel. Our live video stream is also available on weku.org website, as is our audio stream, compliments of wgad.net in central New York. Don't miss a single episode of our program, and make it a point to tell some of your friends what it is that you like about Red Barn Radio and why they should be listening too. Hailing from North Carolina, our guest next week is Tyler Nail, a folk musician well known in his home city of Winston-Salem. Tyler plays music, writes songs, writes about music, and also has a cool podcast called Red House, where he interviews artists from his region who are doing cool things. Great show. Tyler's second record, called Feathers, is the latest installment in his new project called the Album Release Series, which sees Tyler trying to catch up with himself and finally making time to record all the songs he's been toting around with him in various notebooks. Fusing traditional Americana influences with jazz, soul, and the music from Appalachia, Tyler's songs capture all the experiences of his life so far. Tyler's a guy I'm really looking forward to spending time with. I love his songs and all that he's got to say. You will too. That's next week. Roots Music Southern Style from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's Tyler Nail on Red Barn Radio. Let's get back to tonight's Red Barn Radio program. We welcome you live on our social media platforms, broadcasting from the Arts Place Performance Hall in the grand city of Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome back now, Bear Medicine.
Saturday, the pain was falling from the sky. Lay awake, it's pushing out behind both of my eyes. I saw you there, pushing it into the back of your mind. Too tired to fight, and time's on no one's side. They say time will mend all things, but then why do I scream when I'm feeling anything? Oh, I can't make this last much longer. The line's too blurry now, and I'll just slip into my slumber. It's been so long, been so down. Blue light flash, it's on your feet, it's back and forth. Your chest will burn while faces pass. Are you a walking corpse? I made a plan to meet with you I thought you were outside, but I called you up, and all it said is time. Time's on no one's side. Ooh. They say time will mend all things, but then why do I scream when I'm feeling anything? Oh, I can't make this last much longer. Lines too blurry now. I'll just slip into my slumber. It's been so long, and I've been so down. Oh, I can't make this last much longer. Lines too blurry now. I'll just slip into my slumber. It's been so long, I've been so down. Oh, it's been so long, and I've been so down.
This next song is called The Wheel. It was written for my friend Ryan Wright, who was in the Blue Suckers with me back in the day. He left us all too soon, so this is Ryan's song. Miss you, Ryan.
Seasons in the sun, many have I experienced. I've loved all but one, but mostly I'm just left delirious. Lost a friend this year. Hold his name in exaltation. We played in a band. Our best shows were all in basements. And the wheel keeps on turning, but I feel like I'm learning in the wheel.
Song's called Soul Companion. It's actually a song that we wrote with the Blue Suckers back in the day. So here's a blast from the past. Shoestring trailing far behind. And I'll stop and lace you up if you don't mind. So just be still. And I see your shoes are rolling with the road. How they feel against your soul, against my soul.
So what's the game? How's it been? Has it been too long? Do you need another friend? Well, it's just a
inside this cold and lonely room, and the lights reflecting off the white and blue. But it comes along in such a funny way. I swear your smell could keep me alive for days. Ooh.
Is it a sin the way I think? Do you think I'm wrong? Well, I guess that was my mistake. But it's over now. Whoa.
Bear Medicine, I am enjoying this so much. It's just that there's so much sound and emotion in what's going on up here. And it's just, I thank you guys for what you're bringing. So, Joshua, I wonder, I'd like to kind of have a chance to talk to everybody. Could you introduce us to the other members of the band, Emily and
Yeah, for sure.
Sam and Scott?
We've got Emily Waxahara here on vocals and drums. Maybe a space alien from another planet as far as percussion goes. Amazing, amazing talent.
Emily? Tell us about your training and when you started playing drums.
I started playing percussion in 5th grade as well. Incidentally, I wanted to play flute, but I couldn't make a sound on any of the wind instruments. So I opted for percussion, and my older brother played drums growing up. So I kind of followed in his footsteps with a lot of things. And
In school?
extracurricular kind of things, like ice hockey and kind of like sports and things like that. But so I started playing like snare drum, I guess, in 5th grade, and then that kind of grew into when I went to high school, we had an actual percussion class, which was really cool. I think it was one of the few high schools that offered that. It's a whole hour just devoted to percussion. So I learned a lot there, like was introduced to marimba and vibraphone, and we had steel drums and stuff like that.
Sounds like a good high school music program.
Yeah, it was really wonderful.
Where was that?
That was at Henry Clay.
Oh, okay.
Under Tara Lynn Schwab, and then when I graduated, I was a music performance major at UK, so studying percussion.
Oh, all right. So did you do this? Did you do the pan drums? No, steel drums there.
Yeah, we did that. They have a program where you go and play around elementary schools and kind of teach them about the origins and all of that. So
Yeah, I think you came to our school
I might have.
where I teach. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What school?
Sayre.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Very neat. And so, just out of curiosity, when you were in high school, were there many other girls involved in the percussion program?
There were. I can think
cool.
of at least like 3 or 4.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I was in good company. But in college, just a couple. One of my good friends to this day was introduced to Amanda Cool, and we became really close. And then, yeah, there was one other female percussionist. So.
What other projects do you do in addition to Bear Medicine?
My partner and I have a band called Ancient Warfare. We haven't been as active with that lately, but kind of writing. Echo Waxahara plays guitar and sings lead, and I play drums. We've just kind of been writing. We haven't really been playing out much. But that, and then I have my own project, which is kind of on again, off again. But I like to, write. I actually play with Severin, who Josh was bandmates with. He plays drums with me, and Blake Cox. It's been a minute, but yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Well, love your sound and your singing too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, and then now take it from there.
Well, we've got Scott Wilmoth on bass.
Hey, Scott. And how did you step up? How did you find Bear Medicine, become involved in this project? I know you're involved in a lot of things.
Before I became a member.
I
was in, I guess, probably Corley and the Townies at the time, and Bear Medicine opened for us a few shows, and that's probably how I was introduced. And I always wanted to be the bass player, and they didn't really have one, so pushed.
Yeah, and so what does this draw upon in your training that maybe other projects that you're involved with?
I mean, I mostly play upright and like singer-songwriter stuff and jazz kind of stuff. So it's fun to get to play upright and kind of pretend I'm Paul McCartney a little bit. Do something different.
You guys look a lot alike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah. And then Sam McWilliams over here. No, I guess you kind of have a short leash on your violin. Can you hang it up now? Yeah.
Sam's an old Frankfurt boy as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So tell folks about your training and some of the other projects that you've been involved with, leading up to your involvement in Bear Medicine.
Sure. My sister and I started playing fiddle at a young age, probably 8 years old. She started us with Suzuki, which we both kind of rejected.
How come?
I didn't like reading, I guess. I just wanted to play by ear. So she, I don't know for what reason, I regretted that later, not being able to read music, but we eventually stopped with that teacher, and I quit for a while, and then in high school found Daniel Carwile, a mutual friend of ours, and he's more, he's like a contest fiddler winner, really amazing player. Not to say that I followed in his footsteps, but he really helped reignite my fiddle stuff because I'd left it kind of dormant for a while. Then from there on, it was pretty much just bands that kept me going, and that's still my favorite way to play. Just adapt to whatever the band needs are, and I've just played a lot of backup fiddle my whole life.
Is this the first time you've played in an ensemble of this kind that, has much more detailed arrangements and?
Yes, definitely.
That's less about improv. I would think, you're playing what you guys have practiced. Not
Yeah, totally. I still get to use, kind of the backup fiddle, just fill in the gaps type stuff for some of the songs, but that has been one of my favorite parts of being in this band is getting to write parts specifically for the fiddle and collab, kind of coming up with what's right for the song beforehand and writing it out. And yeah, that's new for me, and I love it.
That sounds fun and satisfying.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Very much.
And you've also done bluegrass stuff.
Yeah,
we were
a
just
little
talking before the show about how you had been on the program with a bluegrass band. I think that was sort of based in Frankfurt, right? Or based
Yeah,
out of that
downtown
area?
county band.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Frankfurt dudes.
Yep, that's the Frankfurt dudes, right? Yeah, well, it's really nice to see you again, and I love what
too.
you're bringing to this music.
Well, it's cool to be back. Thank
Yeah,
you.
very nice to see you.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Joshua, could we talk about a couple more things? So I had a couple other questions I wanted to ask you, and I put them on my phone here. So I guess my impression is that you like the studio, and like that experience of sort of putting things together in the studio.
Yes, very much so.
So I wonder, is the studio the sort of best channel for your music? Have you guys found the right kinds of venues that will actually have people there to pay attention?
Oh yeah. No, we haven't.
good.
We've had no shortage of that.
That's good.
Especially here locally. I mean, we traveled so much, but I mean, so our new record, "Dog Is Love," just came out, and we did our we had it pressed on vinyl. It's our second record pressed on vinyl, and we did our release show at the Green Lantern Bar.
Oh yeah.
On 3rd and Jefferson over there here in Lexington. Indeed. And I don't think there was an empty spot from the stage to the back door. So, we don't have any problem bringing people out. we're headlining the Burl Saturday, January 7th, coming up soon. We actually played this iteration of the band, played the post-COVID, well, not post-COVID, but when the Burl started having outdoor shows, we were the headliner for their very first outdoor show back out in the parking lot there, and they were doing that. So, no, I don't think we have any problem drawing people.
Well, that wasn't what I was suggesting, is that you would have trouble. I mean, anybody in their right mind would come out and hear you guys play music. It's just that bars, I mean, I'm thinking of the Green Lantern, for instance. That's not a bar. I've not seen.
That's home.
I've not seen ensembles like you guys play. It's usually been more of a loud thing.
On the road back in the day when we were a cello, piano, drum guitar thing, it was, and we didn't have much upbeat stuff. It was difficult on Friday nights and stuff like that out on the road. We were more suited at that point in the band's life for playing listening rooms, living room shows, art galleries, things like that that would have like evening shows set up. That would always work well for us. But just rolling into, I don't know, Jed, in Muncie at like Jed's Dive Bar on a Friday night, and everybody's like wanting to blow some steam off after a long week, and we're gonna sing about the moon and our heartbreak. They were like, "What are you all doing in here, man?"
So what do you guys what do you like in the studio when it comes to the role of the recording engineer, the role of the producer? Is there a kind of studio character that's really well suited to do what you like to do musically? That's a hard question to answer.
That's a good question. So the album we just recorded, Dog Is Love, which we recorded a little while back and just released. We recorded with Otto Helmuth, a kind of a local legend around here who's recorded many bands and been in many bands. But his production outlook on that was he didn't take a back seat necessarily. He let us know when we were screwing up, or like he was like, "You're going too far down this road. Let's reel it back in," And I appreciate that kind of input very much so, because I tend to be like, what else can we add? What else can we add? Let's make it bigger. Let's make it bigger.
Too many layers.
Yeah, sometimes I need that, the cane from the side of the stage, like, going around the neck, like pulling me back. But now we just started recording our third record just very recently with Dwayne Lundy at the Lexington Recording Company. And he's been very much more hands-on, and I'm really enjoying that process of him just having not just ideas of where we should add more or less, but actual like melodic ideas or real, I don't know, like really contributing to the song. Not to say that it's a different thing, it's two different sides of the coin, and they've both been enjoyable. But I'm enjoying this thing, having a producer that's actually working and thinking, with us.
Do you feel like he has a good sense of like sort of what your individual gifts are and,
Yes.
and how to, right,
Yeah,
that's cool.
He's very good at that stuff, absolutely. I've been really enjoying working with him very much. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been good.
So it's been kind of extraordinary couple of years, to say the least. Can you talk a little bit about what you've learned, and anybody can pitch in on this? What have you sort of learned in your orbit over the last couple of years, as we went through all the things we went through?
Wow. That's a big question.
Oh, that's a
That's a big question. Yeah. No, I mean, I learned, I think, as far
About
as
yourself,
like music, as far as music and like the
Yeah.
band stuff is concerned, and like playing, pre-COVID, we had the ball rolling quite nicely, and we were, the album was finished. We'd finished recording it, and we were getting ready.
Dog Is Love.
Yeah, Dog Is Love,
Yeah.
exactly. We were planning on getting on the road, like everything. We were ramping up. We've been playing so many shows and stuff like that, and things were really gelling. And then COVID, and so we decided rather than to release the album during that we would wait until a point we could go out. So my whole thing, I guess, to answer the question, you never know when the rug is going to get pulled out from under, so you might as well just go for it while you're in the moment and have the time. So that's kind of the impetus for this whole thing now, is like, let's just move the ball forward, because who knows when the next tragedy is going to befall us. Basically, I mean, that's awful, but yeah.
Right. Well, that's the question we've all been asking.
Yeah, right.
Right. So how about on your bucket list of things you might like to do, on your own musically, as a band? You guys have some thoughts about things you'd like to do? Would you like to do, scoring for film, TV, any of that kind of thing interest you?
I love writing instrumental music. The only thing I really want to do is travel these days. I think that's pretty much it. That's my bucket list currently. It would have been different pre-COVID, but post-COVID, being so holed in and blocked up, it's like I just want to move around again. That's my answer. If anyone else has anything they want to throw in the hat, feel free. What's your dream, Kim?
How about you, Kim?
Well, I love making music, whatever that looks like. And so I enjoy traveling, but I also enjoy writing and creating with various people. So I just intend on doing that. I would love to score a film, or
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Are all of you at liberty to travel now and sort of step away from whatever you're doing for a couple of weeks to do a tour down to South Carolina and Florida and swing back up?
I've designed my life that way for better and worse. So,
What are some other things you all do other than play? Do you have other jobs that are not in music? Any of the rest of you?
All of us.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do, Emily? Other than play music?
I am a jeweler
Oh, all right.
at Tiffany and Company.
Very nice. And what about you?
I'm the director of learning and development for a system that represses workers' compensation bills.
All right. Right. Real sort of the kind of work that anchors society.
Yes.
Right. Like my job teaching too.
Right.
Yeah. How about the rest of you? Sam? Sam? Sorry.
I do customer service.
Customer service?
Yeah.
In what kind of a setting?
Albany here in Lexington.
All right. All right. And Scott, I can't imagine you doing anything but music because I see you doing music all the time everywhere. But
I'm a freelance paralegal.
oh, all right. All right. Well, you guys have been great. Thanks for talking to me and for sort of filling us in on the things going on in your lives and telling us your story and especially for the beautiful music you guys have been playing tonight.
Thanks so much for having
It's
us.
so much
It's been fun. It's been
Yeah,
great.
we've really enjoyed it. All right, let's get back to it.
I had a partner rider with me, but these trails are all troubled with bad symmetry. We rode down the hillside to the canyons below, never looked at the compass, just followed our nose. So we walked through the valley on a prayer and a song, but the melody was broken and the chords were all wrong. The chorus felt empty, the bridge felt too flat. By the time the song ended, there was no turning back. So we divvied the rations and divided the loot, tightened our saddles and filled up our boots. We cursed the Creator for making men's hearts out of stuff that's so fragile they all fall apart. So we set out on pathways all diverging new, charting our new maps by the light of the moon. We burned up the old ones, the smoke filled the night. By I still feel your body when I'm pulled from my sleep. But the bed's all empty and your scents left the sheets. So farewell, my partner, and ride her so long. Fix up that chorus and wrote a new song. It echoes through the hills and far across the sea, and your memories buried with the notes in between.
Thanks. All right, just a couple more. This next one's called Glitter. This next one's called Glitter and Shine. Thanks for listening, y'all. Appreciate you. Pardon me.
Woke up in the morning feeling far away. I was laying there thinking about the judgment day. I've been around long enough to know, nah, there ain't nobody gonna save my soul. Nah, there ain't nobody gonna save my soul. So I follow the light of the morning star. Said to get to where you're going, gotta lose it all. Now I ride so high, but I ride so low. Gonna get to where we're going, but the wheel is slow. Yeah, we're gonna get to where we're going, but that wheel turns slow. So when the curtains are drawn and the last note's sung, I'll be a slipping out the back under the midnight sun. And then there's nothing left to do and nothing to say. The only thing that's worth the lasting are the songs we play. The only thing that's worth the lasting are the songs we play.
Thanks so much, y'all. Got one more. It's called My Myriad Daydreams. This is an older one, but I'll calm it down a little bit for you. Thanks so much again. Gonna steal your eye, thinking about just making you mine. What little I got left, I saved you nothing but the best, and you just tore it up and threw it to the sky. I'm gonna change your mind, thinking about just making you mine. But every night the same mistake, you only wanna see what's fake, and then another year is slipping by. Your shadow paints the wall, it's looking like you're 10 feet tall. They told me to count the cost, but I got a splinter hanging on that cross. And when you add it up, it becomes lost. And yesterday's so hard to recall. Oh, time just gets away from us all. Your shadow paints the wall, it's looking like you're 10 feet tall. You told me to count the cost, but I got a splinter clinging on to that cross. And when you add it up, it becomes lost. Yesterday's so hard to recall. Oh, time just gets away from us all.
Well, there are so many people to thank for our program. First, Bear Medicine, our guest this evening. We're ever grateful for our volunteers and staff who make production happen so beautifully each week. And we want to thank all of you for listening to our webcast, watching us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and those listening to us on the network of Red Barn stations and media worldwide. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn's premier radio partner, Central and Eastern Kentucky's radio news leader. You can listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU. That's NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Those of you here in the Central Kentucky area, you got to be sure to check out Red Barn TV. It's our weekly program of music, now on ABC 36 WTVQ. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We're on the web at redbarnradio.com. And now, before we all go on our merry ways, I wonder if Bear Medicine might play us one more tune to close out the evening.
think we could handle that.
Yeah,
This
love
one,
it,
This
love
one
it.
goes out to the blood moon that just happened in Monday
Oh,
into
it was
Tuesday.
so beautiful.
It was so beautiful. I made sure to set my alarm and
Yeah.
caught it. I was quite sleepy, but it was worth it.
Way to go. Hey, thanks, you guys.
Thanks so much for
Thank
having us.
you.
Great night.
So didn't you see how the moon split the sky and poured out its cold light on hollow dark night? And in through the trees how the wind whispered low, bearing its secrets to silent shadows. So didn't you see how the moon split the sky and poured out its cold light on hollow dark night? And all you celestials in orbit display the circular pattern of waxing and waning. But lately I'm trying to find the line that flows and bleeds into one. But sometimes my mind gets crazy, thinking maybe that I am the sun, that you are the sun, that we are all one.
Well, that's all for our show for this week. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. You can also listen to archive performances on Spotify and iTunes and watch mountains of video on the Red Barn Radio YouTube channel. Remember, every like, comment, share, and subscribe, what does it do? It helps bring roots music Southern style to your neck of the woods. And finally this, if any of our featured artists are performing in your area, get out and hear them live. They need you now more than ever. From all of us here at Red Barn Radio to all of our friends worldwide, keep working together to be safe and healthy. And until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.